That's Hannah Belle, Chasing Thunder, from the Radio Liberty KY.com studios this afternoon. And hey, great job. We like that song.
Thank
Is that
you.
something you wrote?
Yes, my sister and I both wrote it together. It was one of the very first songs that we actually wrote together, and it just kind of came so well, and it summed up what we were trying to explain exactly with Chasing Thunder. You know, something that people tell you you can't do. It's impossible to catch thunder. But like I said, with God by your side, all things are possible.
Right. We had a Dotson dog that would try to catch firecrackers.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
dangerous.
Yeah, that is.
That's
He was
dangerous.
living very dangerous.
On the edge.
Yeah. Now, you, I guess, would be considered a country girl. I mean, and I take that from the video. I watched your video.
Yeah.
And it looked like that, country girl, farm girl, or what?
Well,
you grow up on, are you on a farm or grow up on a farm?
Yeah, we have a lot of acres of land that we live on out in Mississippi. Got chickens, ducks, cows, dogs. We've had it all. Pigs and all kinds of horses. We've had it all growing up. And from being from Red Lick, I mean, that's country enough, Red Lick, Mississippi, they got the name because of the way that the deer used to lick the clover, so it's out in the country being that way. And I guess country girl would be a definite way to describe me.
One of my favorite all-time comedians, Jerry Clower. He was from Mississippi as well, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He wasn't that far from us. What was it, like a couple of Jacks? Yeah, close to Jack McComb, somewhere along in there. I can't remember exactly where he's from, but Jerry Clower is from Mississippi. But we also live, like I said, on the Louisiana border, where people like Jerry Lee Lewis and Mickey Gilley and all of them came out. So they're from around our parts too.
So a little bit of Bayou blues blended in there with your music as well?
Somewhat. I have one song on the album called Feet on the Ground that kind of has a more bluesy feel to it, and I guess that's where I would get the inspiration for that from.
Now, I also noticed from your bio here that you've recently graduated from Mississippi College.
Mississippi College, home of the Choctaws. I graduated in May of last year. It was a big deal getting my bachelor's degree in actually communications, where
mass media.
I worked for a radio station as soon as I got done.
Okay,
so
cool.
I did a classic country station in Faraday, Louisiana, KWTG's Gator.
All right.
I had an afternoon show behind the mic, just like you're doing.
Just like I'm doing, but probably making a whole lot more money.
Oh, I
than
doubt
what I'm doing.
that. I doubt that. There's not much in radio, that's for sure.
Well, it's a great, big, broad media, and there's so many things to do out there. And all the people that you meet, especially when you get to go to Nashville during the seminars and the different things, but you do get to meet a lot of great people.
That is
and being
true.
in the business, with your music and stuff, I'd say you can look forward to a great career.
Well, I love it. I love doing stuff like this, meeting different people, especially the people that support me and play my music, because, that's what makes an artist. Radio can kill or make an artist live, that's for sure. And so it's fun to go out and meet face-to-face the people who support you.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot of fun.
Well, now, you have another song you might want to do for us?
I can do another one for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, lay it on us.
I haven't practiced in a while, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Okay.
This one's called Pretty Country, and it's another song off the album, and I got it actually inspired by it on the way back from Nashville after recording half of my album. I'd recorded about 4 songs. My dad was looking out. We were taking the Natchez Trace all the way back to Natchez, and he was kind of looking out over the fall leaves and stuff and was like, man, that sure is pretty country. And I kind of just was like, hey, maybe I could write a song about that.
That's the golden line.
Yeah, and so that's what I went for it and wrote a song called Pretty Country.
All right, here's Hannah Belle live from the Radio Liberty KY.com studios.
Sunshine coming down.
And you know, the great thing about that, no matter where you are, you're going to say the same thing about this sure is pretty country.
That's right. It's universal.
It's universal, and you know, great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, some famous words of your father.
Yes, famous words. He's redneck as all get out, and things like that just come out. So that sure is pretty country, you know.
That would have to be if that was me and my son wrote a song, you know, about some of the words that I'd done. I'd be very flattered, very proud. So I'm sure your dad would be too.
Oh man, I could come up with a bunch that he says.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about your musical background.
Okay.
You've been singing since you were 3. Yeah. Who are some of your musical influences?
Well, when I was growing up, a lot of the stuff that I listened to were classic country and Creedence Clearwater Revival. My sister and I play around. We say we didn't know it was anything else but country and Creedence.
And Creedence.
That's all we thought there was. And so I listened to, as far as women go, Patsy Cline was huge, Reba McEntire, Faith Hill, you know, all those ladies, Shania Twain. Because when I was growing up, it was in the 90s, and those were the ones at the time that were played on the radio. Okay. And so I just, especially like Faith and Reba, I just listened to those women like it was going out of style. And then I got my greatest hits Patsy Cline CD, and I'd throw that in there, and man,
sing right along.
Yes, indeed. And you can't forget Tammy and Loretta too. I grew into their music as I got a little bit older. But when I was younger, Faith, Shania, Reba, and Patsy. Those were my women.
Right. Of course, now Loretta is from right here in Butcher Holler, Kentucky.
Butcher Holler. We seen a bunch of signs when we were coming up from Goodlettsville. Well, no, before we got to Nashville, we saw a lot of Loretta Lynn's Country Cafe.
She's got a ranch down there.
Yeah, her Dude Ranch. We saw all that kind of stuff. It'd be cool to visit if we had some time.
Yeah, there you go. Well, now tell me about your music. Now, we've heard you do a couple of songs. How can people find out about your music, download it? Do you have a site, that sort of thing? What can you tell us?
If you are a digital downloader, you're in luck because my music's on iTunes, it's on Amazon MP3, Napster, Zune, all those places. If you Google me, you're most likely to find me. I'm also on Facebook. Just search for Hannah Belle Sutherland. And if you just search for Hannah Belle, you'll find me that way. I have a website as well that you can find my music on, hannah-belle.com. And that's Hannah with an H on the end and Belle with an E on the end.
Belle with an E.
Yep, that's right.
Well, Hannah, it's been great to have you here in the studios
I appreciate
this afternoon.
You having me.
We appreciate you stopping in and visiting the folks here in Liberty, Kentucky, and I'm glad the weather turned out to be a nice day for a visit here.
Actually, had to wear the sunglasses. Actually, had to put them on.
Even though your GPS, now you can tell them all back in Nashville when the rest of them comes up here.
Don't go the way your GPS says.
Once they get into Casey County, throw their GPS away and just stop and ask for directions.
Exactly. Well, we were hard-headed and rode around. We rode by it once and then came back and Robin was like, there it is, right there.
Oh, well, if I'd have known that, I'd just turned the speakers up louder and you guys could have found us quicker.
Yeah, we would have found you quicker then, but we found it fine.
Don't feel bad because the last folks that was up here have the same trouble. And
we're not alone.
Yeah, their GPS is not updated as well. Mine, I think, will put me out there as well.
We did the iPhone thing. Google Maps.
Okay.
So we did the iPhone, and it took us to Casey County High School. We waved at the school buses as they were pulling out.
Yeah, and all you had to do is just follow them downtown, and you'd have found us.
We would have found us. Well, we eventually made it here, and we're glad that we did.
Now, where are you headed to after this, your next radio visit?
Williamsburg is where we're going. Never been there. This is our first time to be in Kentucky today.
Okay.
Very first time. So we're headed to Williamsburg.
This is your very first time in Kentucky?
Very first time in Kentucky.
Oh.
We have loved it so far. Robin is wanting to quit her day job and move to Kentucky.
Come to Kentucky. Now, your dad would say, man, that sure is something. Sure looks like, what is the words again?
Pretty country.
Yeah, this sure is pretty country.
Oh, I called him on the phone. I was like, you would love Kentucky. You'd be saying, well, that's pretty country. Look at there. That's pretty country over there.
Well, you're going to get, in Williamsburg, you're going to get to see a little bit of the mountainous area over there off Interstate 75. If you get a chance, you got to see the Niagara of the South, Cumberland Falls.
Cumberland Falls.
And if you can fit that into your trip, that's certainly worth seeing.
Well, we've got a free afternoon. We can head that way
it's a beautiful, and if you happen to be at certain times, and this should be the correct time of the year, if it is clear tonight, the North America's only moonbow So it's a rainbow at night from the moon. It's beautiful.
That is neat. We
So,
will definitely have to look out for
yep.
that. Who knew?
So-
Thank
so,
you for
yeah,
that
not-
tidbit
not a
of
problem.
information.
Well, it's been a pleasure here talking with you, Hannah, and you and your sister. And thanks for bringing her.
You're welcome. I wouldn't do it without her.
We've had a really enjoyable visit this afternoon, and we're going to put some video together and put it on our homepage, and try to put some over on Facebook as well. We certainly wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate Grassroots setting up a visit that you could come in and bring your guitar and
Right, they're great. They're
play
good at that.
music for us. Mandy and the gang over there,
Yes.
Teresa, they've always been really great to us. We really appreciate them, and got an open invitation. And if you're through Kentucky,
I know where it's
Liberty,
at now.
come by, and we'd love to hear from you. And we wish you the best on your musical endeavor down the road.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me today and just supporting my music. It means the world to me.
Well, you've got a great video. Now, I watched this video, this last song that we're going to do, called Porching It.
Porching it.
And the first thing I heard, I thought, I'm like, So I watched the video, and I really liked the video. It's a great song. We're going to give you lots of plays here on Radio Liberty.
Thank you so
and
much.
we're going to end on that note. Anything else that you might want to say to the folks out there that would be listening?
Just find me on Facebook and become my friend. I would just like to be friends with you, because that's all that matters, is the people that support you and the people that like your music. If you like my music, I don't care if you buy it or whatever. Listen to it, love it, and just be my friend.
Yeah, tell her that you heard her on Radio Liberty KY.com.
Exactly, that would make my
especially
day.
If you did happen to catch the interview this afternoon, and so we're gonna go ahead and play that single, Porching It. And so Hannah Belle, we appreciate you coming in, and we've enjoyed the visit today.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it myself.
Simple things, that's a way for me. Don't have to be anything fancy. Just call up the gang, pull some chairs around. Talk about life in this small town. Moon so